if there's one show that you guys cannot afford to miss on television, that has to be The Penguin. This show is absolutely incredible. It's must watch television. Do not sleep on this television show, guys. Now, episode 3 is titled Bliss. What I loved about this episode is the fact that we get a little bit of Vic's backstory. That opening sequence actually ties in with the Batman movie, which is incredible. This TV show doesn't rely on the Batman as a franchise, but still it has the ability to go back to that pivotal moment where the Riddler flooded the city, and to see the extent of the damage that actually caused, to give you a little bit of insight into that and tying it in with this character of Victor is absolutely incredible. It's devastating, to start off an episode this way, but that's brilliant storytelling. That's when your TV show has a foundation and a structure that's absolutely incredible. Now, when it comes to Victor, we only know Victor as the guy who wanted to steal the Penguin's whims in episode 1. But as the show has been progressing, to see that dynamic between Victor and the Penguin is absolutely incredible. The Penguin is obviously a character with a lot of flaws, but he has this drive and belief that he needs to end up on top. He's been made fun of his entire life, and that still continues in the show, regardless of what he has achieved. And he sees Victor as an opportunity. We took him off the streets. He absolutely has nothing. And I sometimes feel like he's a little bit too harsh on Victor in the way he conducts himself. But you can tell that he has a little bit of a soft spot when it comes to Victor. And that comes across very well in this episode. They have this scenes where they clash, and I feel like that's a strong aspect in the TV show, to have that dynamic of I'm power hungry, I want to end up on top, and then you have this character in Victor that is trying his best to figure out where I fit in. Now, Victor has this plot in this episode with Gracella. He tries to run away, so he's already caught in between of, should I run away or should I take this opportunity that I have now, that I've been given, even though it's in a life of crime. And I feel like that is a strong point in the show, and that's absolutely incredible to see that dynamic between Oz and Vic play out. Now, at the end of last week's episode, you had Sophia and Oz actually starting an alliance to take down the rest of the Falcone family. But that is also just not a good idea at all, because you have the Penguin and you have the Hangman, and they still have history that they haven't really spoken about or resolved at all. So it's great to see the tension between the two of them, who's in charge. I'm leading, you take a step back. And then they decide to introduce a new drug called Bliss. Now, to get this on the streets, they need to get the help of a rival gang to get this on the streets, so it's nice to see that dynamic and how that plays out. But it's a relationship that's obviously doomed. It's not going to work. There is no way where that relationship between Sophia and the Penguin, works. And with that said, guys, the episode ends on an absolute cliffhanger. I mean, edge of your seat stuff. I haven't seen a television show that's good in a long time. It's amazing that when this was first announced, I wasn't really excited. It wasn't on my radar. There was no hype whatsoever. But after episode 1, I've been hooked. This is a universe that I want to see more of. This might end up being my favorite version of Batman that there has ever been. Each version is different, but there's just something about this, man, like on a street level, crime, the depiction of Gotham, Colin's performance. There's just a lot that's good in this show, and this episode just took things to another level for me. Vic and Oz, those are two characters that I would love to see where their story goes next. And if you look at the end of episode 1, that scene where they're sitting and they're sipping on slushies, I feel like that was an indication of what's to come. And this is what happens when the foundation of a TV show is good. It's solid. The writing is strong. The acting is top notch. In no way does this make the Batman look bad at all. Instead, it enhances the experience. This is incredible television, guys. If there's one show that I highly recommend that you should be watching right now, it's definitely The Penguin. It's must watch television. You guys cannot afford to sleep on the show. Oh man, I can't wait for the next episode, guys. I was absolutely blown away by this episode. I immediately rewatched this episode the moment it was finished. And that's how you know you're watching something of quality. That's it for me, guys. Do not sleep on the show. Don't do that. Watch this immediately. Catch you on the next video.